Welcome back, everyone. It's Kareem here. Today, we are talking about experimentation, generally, specifically, however you can get it, however you can do it, all the time, every time. Really, the point of experimentation is data. You need data to improve. This is beating the horse, beating the drum, we should say, because beating the dead horse kind of implies that it's played out, like you shouldn't be doing it. No, you should be tracking. Beating the drum of tracking information, measuring. Everything has to be measurable. We've already briefly discussed like email campaigns when you're sending emails, how you want to check every step of the way. You want to check deliverability. Let's say you have a newsletter. Okay, is everybody that send a newsletter to getting the newsletter? Then you might want to track open rates. Okay, is everybody that actually gets the newsletter delivered, are they opening? What percentage of people are opening it? Okay, now out of the people who open the newsletter, how many people take any action, like click a link that leads into a landing page? Let's say a landing page, for those who don't know, is a mini website. It's a one-page website where usually you request someone's information to give them something, usually for free, something that'll just get them their foot in the door, is something that they find valuable. Um, and then next, after um, checking deliverability and then your headlines, because that would lead into the headline. Tweaking the headline would let you, the headline of the email of the newsletter would let you know whether or not people are opening it. And then you track to see how many people opened it from there, then how many people clicked on whatever link, whatever call to action you have. Like, here, click this link for XYZ. Storm season, tornado just ripped through. And so we're putting in overtime. Here's a discount for the homeowners who might have lost a lot, and things like that. You want to check that next, track everything there, and then so on and so forth down the line until you hone it in, you tweak it in. And really, you don't get that unless you experiment, unless you consistently look at the data. Now, I'm going to say something that should be obvious, but is not always, because humans have biases that we operate by in the world. Some of them protect us, some of them do not. And one of those is the tendency for people to take anecdotes as data, meaning one-offs, an anecdote, a one-off event. The plural of anecdote is not data. Like, you could look it up. I'm not making this up. You can go look in a dictionary right now. The plural of anecdote is not data. Data is 100,000 emails sent, and out of that 100,000, and even that small, really, that wouldn't even usually fly as like a test trial for something, for darn near anything. If we're talking about the scientific method to experimenting and getting better and perfecting a process. So you need a lot of data. You can start with 100 because, your list might not be there yet when we're talking about what to experiment with. Well, experiment with everything. You experiment with your website. You experiment with sending newsletters. You experiment with starting a podcast. You experiment with just interviewing customers. You experiment with interviewing your suppliers. See what they're up to, what new products they're making. Man, wouldn't that be interesting content if you actually went and got like a brief interview with your own suppliers and see what the heck they have to say about their product, right? They would love the boost. And now your customers know why you're making the decision that you make. And we go way off in the weeds with that. But anyway, experimenting, we're just talking about you and your business now. For home services, experiment with everything. Experiment as early and often as you can, meaning every day, with every possible metric that you can think of and some you have not thought of, which is why you really have to study this, um, get the expertise of somebody who does marketing consistently. Um, what you want to have is a well-tuned, well-refined machine. Yes, the human element is in there. If we were to think about, the human element and jump off of digital, because, I'm a big proponent of doing everything, not just strictly digital, like that's my forte, that's my expertise. But, you know, the world is a competitive place. And so the more places that we can reach out and touch people like sun rays, the better off our business will be. Now we also do have things like door knocking. We also do have physical like flyers, posters that you can send in the mail. We also have door hangers. You get a street team out there doing some door hanger stuff, um, which you can actually also monetize, but I'm not going to get into that for now. Um, there's tons of things to track, tons of metrics, but you have to be in it to win it. You kind of have to be in the game and like monitoring what you're doing. We all know it's tedious sometimes, like monitoring things, tracking everything. It's pretty tedious, but the benefit of doing so is way far outweighs um, the 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 opposite of benefit, the detriment of not doing it. So it's incredibly beneficial to track and measure and experiment with any and everything that you're doing than it is to not. Like you kind of lose out. You lose out to competition who's like they actually go about doing measuring, tracking everything. Now, just some brief homework. If you are currently on um let's say you're doing paid traffic. Paid traffic is how you're going to scale, by the way. Um, Google ads, Google local business services, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. You could experiment, like just some ideas to experiment. Hulu. Hulu has an ad platform. Um, Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace exists. Have you ever put up your services on Facebook Marketplace? I don't know. Give it a shot. See how it goes. Craigslist. How many of us have forgotten completely about Craigslist? I know a lot of home service businesses still use Craigslist, but if you're not on Craigslist like right now today, especially if you're a painter or you do like siding, you do roofing, spam, and I say it's slightly tongue in cheek, but when I say spam, I really do mean like you want to be there early and often. You get as many accounts as you need to get. You know how to research stuff. Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Find out how to be on every possible, especially the free platforms. If you could just find like every classified online that you can just plaster your mug, your face, your company's logo, your banner, do it. Just do that and experiment with the data. See, you'd also need a way to track everything again, just to make sure that, the payoff is there. But just one person, if they're paying $5,000 for a interior paint job, is worth it, don't you think? If you put it on Craigslist consistently, and you just get one person a month to plunk down 5K for an interior painting job, that would be worth it, would it not? I think so. Anyway, experiment. That's the the word of the day. Experiment. Yeah. So that's it. I'm not going to go ahead and ramble anymore. In your ear today is Kareem, and until tomorrow, everyone. Peace. Experiment.